Hello, Oldies and Goodies here. I'm going to tell you a horror story. Well, I'm going to teach you not to have a horror story. Cleaning coins. A lot of people like to clean coins. Don't know why. They want it to not be dirty. You take this quarter right here. It's pretty dirty. It's not silver, so it's not worth much. It's clad. But if you go metal detecting, they'll come up brown, red, you know, dirty colored, distoned, copper showing, stuff like that. Or a zinc penny. Crappiest coin ever made, for sure. So as you look around here, I have some steel wool up there, some acetone. Got a big old wire brush, that works. Now it depends on, it doesn't have to be coins, you could be cleaning relics and stuff like that. So you might need a wire brush. Aluminum foil goes good with sea salt. It's over there in the corner. Or this big old thing called, I don't know what that all means. Dr. Gotham's office, good. I got a doctor's thing. Anyways, pure baking soda. Then you got some baking powder over there. Those are the way you can clean silver, Now you boil the water. Boy, I'm getting interrupted left and right now. What the frig? Anyways, that's why I never get nothing done around. Anyways, you can take some baking soda and put it in some water, some warm hot water, and you put the shiny side up, then you put the aluminum foil down in the bowl, and it starts a chemical reaction, which cleans the silver off. So that's one way of doing it. Like I said, I wouldn't use the wire brush to clean pennies. Or, coins, for that matter. And then you got some, a little spray bottle. I've got, we got distilled water, which is good to kill the reaction of anything. Or, let's say you're digging up a coin and it's silver. Because you don't want to wet pennies down in that. So you use water on silver. There's other ways. Some people use alcohol. Some people use some type of mixture, hydrogen peroxide, which is over here. You use hydrogen peroxide, kind of, hydrogen peroxide takes out the infection in your wound. Well, it does the same thing with pennies. Or I don't know why I keep saying pennies, but you clean out, it cleans out your wound. Well, it also does the same thing with pennies. It cleans out the stuff on there. Then you got over there, you got some kind of like, it's called Barkeeper's Friend. It's a polisher, cleanser type deal for the sinks. You got all sorts of chemicals you can use. You got vinegar over there. Vinegar, you're welcome. And vinegar has a nice reaction. You could soak your nickels in it. But the only problem is, you leave it in too long, it's going to destroy the face of the coin. You can use salt and vinegar, or you could use baking soda and vinegar, baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. There's a trick to doing the nickels where you put the peroxide in the freezer and freeze it. Stuff like that. Canola oil. kind of loosen up the grit. But you can also use virgin oil as well. A lot of people use that. You got these green scrubby pads, so you're pretty much a dish cleaner, except you're using it to clean items that you have. And then you got your drill. As you can see, this is a soft bristle. This is a hard wire. All right, and it's nice because it spins fast, and you can clean things off like that. Lay down. Boy, I'm getting a big time. Lemon juice. Lemon juice is good for gold and silver gilded buckles and buttons. You got a little bit of silver gilt still on it. You can use it for rings too that are gold and silver plated. But rub it real lightly. That way you don't take peel the the silver and gold right off, and you just do it lightly and it'll shine right up. It's like it's citric acid. Okay. Another thing you use citric acid for is the old bottles. Back in the day, they were painted, and you can brighten those colors up back into the bottles or oil cans, for that matter, if you're doing dump digging. Then you got the almighty toothpick or a pointer for your scope, but I use a stronger toothpick than that. I use skewers, wooden skewers. It's a little bit thicker and lasts longer. And you don't want to use a sharp point. You got petroleum jelly, or should I say, petroleum jelly. Works great. When you get your buttons all cleaned up and you do the due diligence of the lemon juice or whatever to bring back the gilt and all that, use a little bit of petroleum jelly on your buttons and that. I want to say use it on your coins, but some people might. Like olive oil, it's great. It loosens the dirt up. Now, I didn't pull out my ultrasound. I have an ultrasound and I got a rock tumbler. There's a couple other ways to clean your detecting fines, especially if you're turning them back into the bank. They don't want the crap. This is what they look like when they're pound metal detecting. And, put them down here so you can see them. And there's not much left to these pennies. These are all zinc pennies that I found that I won't take back to the bank or cheat and put them in rolls. Here's a real small penny, what's left of it. They barely got any weight to them. So here's my thing about cleaning stuff. Okay, these are cleaned. All right, I got rid of all the corrosion the best I could. Threw them in the rock tumbler, and that's what they come out like. But they're zinc. They're not copper. This one's copper. This one's is clip planchet. No, I'm just kidding. It's clipped. Lawnmower or whatever. Somebody took a pair of something to them. But I won't turn these back into the bank. These are just something I just hold on to. I thought about giving them out as gifts. Just kidding. So overall, then you got the blowtorch. Got to have one of these. Got to be able to melt, burn. Hey, maybe tone coins with it. Or wait, let me get the egg out of the refrigerator. We can start toning coins. We could do all sorts of stuff with chemicals. But the best policy is soap and water on anything. Relics are a little different because of iron. and they'll keep rusting and they'll keep rusting. You can use some black, you know, some black paint or some paraffin wax to after you get it cleaned. Let me show you this right here. You can make your own electrolysis. This is a 12-volt adapter, and what you do is you take the negative lead and you put it on the item that you want to clean, or to kind of like an ultrasound. And you take the positive lead and put it on a piece of crap metal, and you stick it in there, and you keep them separate. And with baking soda, okay, and or salt, etc., it causes a reaction which eats the rust off of the item. You can use a chemical called CLR, which is a lime rust remover. Another chemical you can use is Formula 409. Works really good on certain things. And if you don't have a power supply that you can use, okay, that's a 12-volt. You can just use a regular battery or a lawnmower battery or something, 9-volt, 12-volt, 6-volt. And then when you get into printers, 18 volts. The only problem with going to 18 volts, it's quick, it's very, very aggressive, and you might leave it in there too long and destroy what you're trying to preserve, to get the rust off so you can preserve it. All these chemicals, household chemicals. Here's I want to use it on large scents and all that, but if you want to clean up some types of brass, okay, or it's like a kind of jewelry piece or something, this works great. It's just another polisher. And then you have silver polishers you can use. You want to get the tarnish off, but it would be mainly for your silverware or silver plated items and stuff like that to get the tarnish off, because they do tarnish pretty good just sitting around. You have to remember all metals tarnish or they tone over the years, and the only way to keep them from doing that is by putting them in airtight stuff, an airtight situation. But these are all the things that I have that, as a metal detectors, if I'm trying to clean an object up, I'm not going to tell you what the mixtures and all. You can look them up online. People, oh yeah, this works great, blah, blah, blah. Like getting Buffalo Nickels Nicodate. That'll pull the date of the nickel back out. But if it doesn't have a mint mark, it really doesn't matter, because it's not low mintage. It's not a very valuable coin. If it's a no date and has no mint mark, throw it back to the bank. It's worth at least a nickel. Or give it to somebody that cares. So there's my little tutorial about stuff. Like I said, the oil works good for Doug pennies. And you let it sit in a container for months and months and months and months. And like I said, you can use virgin oil. It darkens the copper up. It's dirty already. It's not clean, but you're trying to get the film and crap off it. Then you throw them in a rock tumbler with, I used to cut up number 2 wire, copper wire, little tiny pieces of it and use that as a pellet thing to clean buttons and copper clad and all that stuff. And it worked out pretty good. You know, it's copper is a soft metal, so it's not really destroying anything. It's helping to get out. But the best policy is soap and water and wash it off. And use distilled water, not just tap water or fresh water. Use distilled water. Acetone over there on the right. You can use that on pennies to try to get some of the gunk off. You know, I wouldn't leave it on there long, and I'd use probably a Q-tip as a source of, you know, to try to get some of that gooey gunk off of pennies that might be worth something. But for the most part, yeah, it's not worth, you know, spending all that time. If the pennies, you know, you're just going to send it back to the bank, just stick it in a rock tumbler or whatever you want, whatever you do. What's a couple other things that I want to make sure you guys understand? Oh, if you do decide to start working and cleaning coins, every step you do, you can never go back. I learned this from a lot of other people that cleans coins, and they tell you, you can never go back to the way you found that coin. So once you start cleaning that coin and you start ruining that coin or making it worse, or you can never go back to the original of what you started with. It's either going to get worse or, for that matter, even worse, sir. There's a word for you. So hopefully you learned something. Hopefully my speaker or my microphone worked. It's just it's been acting up. I'm probably going to have to get another one from Amazon. It's just for some reason I got everything full blast and it's recording very low. It shows that it's picking me up. So I don't know why I'm having problems with it. But yeah, it's 1:05 p.m. and it is Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. Hump day. Or is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's Ash Wednesday. So anybody that's not is a Catholic or whatever, you need to eat some fish. Anyways, Oldies gonna say goodbye. Oldies out. Thank you.